Hi and welcome back to the United Stand. Happy Friday afternoon as Ruben Amorim eyes up two Premier League stars as his potential first arrivals to bolster his Manchester United squad. Going to talk about that. Priority positions for Ruben Amorim shopping in the Premier League. Ineos have their eyes on these two stars. Also, speaking of Ruben Amorim, his first words as Manchester United boss. The full interview will be out later on today on MUTV, but we've seen a few words already. He looks confident, he looks relaxed, he has that aura about him. Are you excited? Going to go through them quotes. Ruud Nistelrooy sends his goodbye to Manchester United as well and could be in the running for the Coventry City job. Sam C reports out a statement regarding Ruben Nistelrooy going for the Coventry City job. I'd love him to get that and wish him all the best. So lots to talk about on today's Friday afternoon show. Get all your comments in down below. Any super chats, make sure you get them in. Hit a like on the video and let's get into it. So let's start off with Ruben Amorim because I'm going to talk about Branthwaite. I'm going to talk about Kerkez, the two players that Ineos really like, really want to bring into the team and would suit Ruben Amorim. And according to reports, Ruben Amorim wants them as well. Don't know if they'll have had time to even speak about transfer business yet, but I'm sure it was part of the process in getting him to come to Old Trafford. You know, he's not got a transfer veto, but he's going to want players. Intensity was the word that he put out there. But in terms of Ruben Amorim's first words as Manchester United manager, you know, he's been in the stadium, he's been doing the Old Trafford tour. By the way, imagine you've booked your Old Trafford tour in for that day when Ruben Amorim's coming round shaking your hand. I would be absolutely buzzing. Watching it made me want to... I've done the tour before at Old Trafford. If you've not done it, get yourself down there and do it. It's fantastic. But it made me want to book the tour again. Honestly, imagine Ruben Amorim just bumping into Ruben Amorim. You all right, boss? So, yeah, he's been in Old Trafford, he's been talking, and the first thing he says about the stadium, he says, you watch it on TV and you know that it is big, you know that it's impressive. When you are here, you can feel it, and I think you feel the history. I'm really, really proud to be Manchester United coach, so it's amazing. It's a real honour to be here. Exactly the words that all Manchester United fans want to hear. It's an honour to be here. He's proud to be coach. And the way he speaks, I don't know how to describe it. If anyone's seen the video and anyone sees him speaking, he just speaks with a confidence and an aura around him that really is quite promising. Don't want to get too carried away because obviously it's, you know, it's the first interviews, it's the first sentences, and we've got carried away in the past. But he really does seem to have that aura and that comfortability as well. And you know, he's talking as if it's the first time he's seen Old Trafford. He's actually played there, I'm pretty sure, because he's played against Johnny Evans there, hasn't he? As he was playing in the past, I think. Was it for Braga? He's played there before. But obviously he's not been there in a very, very long time. And as Manchester United manager, I'm sure it is a very different feeling. He then said that he speaks about the theatre of dreams having a weight to it and that the place should lift you up. And he said, that's really funny because I feel very, very relaxed. Maybe because it's not game day. When we have a game, I'm a different guy. But I don't really feel the weight. I'm really excited and I'm quite relaxed, you know. Give us a few months, Ruben, and you'll be feeling the weight. Give us a few months. I was going to say a few years. You don't even get that as Manchester United manager anymore, do you? I mean, if you see the before and after pictures of managers when they first come into Old Trafford versus when they leave, it's actually quite staggering what we do to people. Genuinely, what we do to managers. But what you would say from Ruben Amorim is to have that relaxed feeling. It's super, super important because a lot of people do crumble and fold under the weight of Manchester United and the weight of Old Trafford. It's huge, huge pressure. He's a young manager. He's only 39 years old. So to say he feels relaxed is obviously a good feeling because he believes in himself, he believes in his methods, and he believes he should be there. You know, it takes... And I know people say the money that he's going to be earning and to be managing Manchester United is an opportunity that you can't turn down. And whilst, you know, I agree with them points, he's spoken about the fact he's been offered more money. 3 times what Manchester United are going for with Ruben Amorim. He's spoken about that openly and honestly in his press conferences. He said, Manchester United is my club. And he just felt drawn to this project and drawn to Manchester United. And people can say, you know, it's words, and obviously he's going to say that. But at the end of the day, he's putting his career on the line. And that is a fact. Manchester United managers, since coming to Old Trafford, since post for Alex Ferguson, they put their neck on the line, and each time a new manager comes, it's even more pressure and it's even more of a risk. Erik ten Hag did it. Louis van Gaal warned him not to take the job. Jose Mourinho, his reputation took a dent. Louis van Gaal's reputation took a dent. Erik ten Hag's reputation has definitely taken a dent. He was so well thought of before he came to Manchester United and very well respected within Europe. I still think he holds reputation, but not the same as he did before he came in. So Ruben Amorim, 39 years old, with what he's built with Sporting Lisbon and the way his reputation is in Europe as the best up-and-coming coach and what he's built within his career so far, it is a risk putting your name on the line at Old Trafford. And everybody who's come before you, post Alex Ferguson, it's ended badly, hasn't it? Like, at the end of the day, they've been sacked. I know Erik ten Hag won 2 trophies and that's fantastic, and he'll take that forward with him within his life and his career, but it's not good being sacked no matter how much the payout is. So, yeah, obviously, to get back to the point, I know it feels like English literature here when you're reading into every word and what does this mean, what does that mean? He's just speaking openly when he's at the Theatre of Dreams. But to say that he's relaxed is a good feeling, because the pressure on this club is absolutely massive and it's going to take a big personality to handle this club and finally be successful post for Alex Ferguson. I've spoken about it on the show before, and let me know in the comments. Do you think it is possible? Is it possible to be a successful Manchester United manager at this current moment in time, in this day and age? Is it possible, or is the enormity of the job too big? Because we've not been able to find somebody yet to be that successor. And I know football's very different, but Ruben Amorim, his personality, does seem to take it all in his stride, and that's a very good first indication of what he's going to do here at Manchester United. Interesting that he says he's very different when they have a game, as I suppose most managers are. I mean, even me as a fan, if I'm going visiting Old Trafford on the tour, I'm absolutely loving it. I'm getting my pictures taken. I'm looking at the dressing room. I'm thinking about the players that have been here before me. I love the club. I love the history. It's fantastic. I'm very, very grateful that opportunities with the United Stand. I've been able to go pitch side at Old Trafford, and you can do that if you go on the Old Trafford tour as well. Whereas when I rock up on a Saturday afternoon with my season ticket to go and watch Manchester United and I'm watching them play, I'm in a very different mood. Let's put it that way, especially in recent years, a very, very different mood. So it does change for everybody when there is a game for Manchester United, when you care about the club. And obviously it's his job to get results. So I'm actually really excited to see what his character's like on the sidelines. I've seen videos, I've seen clips, I've watched some Sporting Lisbon games, and you can see he is, he is active on the sidelines, he is charismatic. He is somebody that's going to be very prominent on the sidelines of Old Trafford, which is exactly what you want to see. You want to see someone with personality. You want to see someone with character. That's what the Premier League is, and we love that. So I'm excited to see that. But we've not seen it with him at Manchester United yet. So roll on the Ipswich game is all I can say on that one. But yeah, they're the first words of Ruben Amorim. More will be coming out in the interview later, and I'm sure Goldbridge will cover that on the 8 p.m. show, Friday night 8 p.m. show. So look forward to that. We'll get on with more of the information we've got coming out this Friday afternoon on transfers, and also Ruud van Nistelrooy as well. But let me get some comments in. Thomas McArdle said 40 grand reportedly stopped to the disabled group at Manchester United. I seen reports of this yesterday. I don't know how true it is, and I don't know if it's confirmed, but I did see reports that apparently the budget has been cut for the disability support group at Manchester United. I don't know if it's true. If it is true, that would be very, very disappointing. I would agree with you. That would be very, very disappointing, but I'd have to look more into that. Let me have a look what anybody else is saying in the chat. A lot of people saying let's not big him up too much because we've done this with previous managers. I understand that, but as a fan, you're always going to be excited. And as I said on the show yesterday, if this manager doesn't work, first class flight to a random island somewhere, I'm giving up on football. I need this manager to work, and it's the hope that kills you. I said to myself when we first brought Ruben Amorim in, and we did sack Erik ten Hag, that he's got to prove it with his performances on the pitch, and that still holds firm in my eyes as well. I was actually, as much as I understand why Erik had to go, I was disappointed, because I do feel like we've just done this cycle over and over again, but I do think it was too far gone, and I don't think there was any coming back from it. But with Ruben Amorim, you're coming midway through a season. It's going to be very, very tough with this squad of players. You've got to change the whole culture at Manchester United, a job that Erik ten Hag did start. But as a fan, you're automatically and you're naturally going to be excited. it's something new, it's something fresh, it's something exciting. You know, we've not seen him manage the club yet, so we have no sort of observations to go off apart from what he's done at previous clubs, and we know that Manchester United is a different kettle of fish, it's a different ball game. So there's obviously going to be some excitement there, and I'm never going to apologise for who I am. I'm somebody who's glass half full. I am a positive person. Manchester United tries its absolute best to change me and drain it out of me, but even with Ten Hag, I was always glass half full, always positive. Even though stuff he did in the end really did frustrate me, and that did come out on shows and forums and stuff, I was really disagreeing with his decisions towards the end, but I always am glass half full. That's the way I am. I'd so much rather live my life that way than be constantly negative and trying to pick out the negatives in things, because that just brings you down. Let's wait for Ruben Amorim to come in and see what he can do, but I'm going to get behind him. He's the new Manchester United manager. Giggsy says, hoping he'll be our Trump and make United great again. I'm not even entertaining that comment, because last time I said anything slightly towards anything to do with politics, I had about 1,000 replies just coming at me, so I'll keep them opinions to myself. But I want him to make Manchester United great again. We'd absolutely love Ruben Amorim to do that. Some news on Ruud van Nistelrooy. He's put himself in the running for the Coventry job. And we've just had Mian Turner saying apparently Brighton uses a specific systematic scheme of recruitment by collecting data about players out there, and has proven successful for them. High time we adopt it as well. Brentford also do this. I've spoken to a lot of people around Brentford, and we spoke to their sporting director, I think, on an interview one time last season, and Brentford do this as well. Systematic data is becoming more and more prevalent within football, and it's becoming successful as well. Brighton have had great success with it, Brentford have had great success with it, and Manchester United definitely need to explore that, because there's proof of it being successful. I mean, everybody's absolutely buzzing around Mazraoui and what a signing he's been for the money we've paid. There's many more Mazraouis out there, but we need to work on finding them and scouting them. And of course, Manchester United's always going to have Manchester United tax, and the price is always going to go up a little bit for Manchester United, but we've been overpaying for years. We need Mazraoui to become the norm. That's what we need to become the norm. Like Manchester United fans, we can't believe it. We've actually got a very good player for a very, very good price, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, this is the best signing, this is the best signing we've done in ages. And I feel that way too as a Manchester United fan, but we should be doing that on a very regular basis, every single transfer window, and systematic data is a way to go about that. And Manchester United, I'm sure they use it in some capacity, but definitely take a leaf out of Brighton's book, because their recruitment's fantastic. That Belieber that they've got, the midfielder at this moment in time, that's absolutely killing it in the Premier League. He looks fantastic, and it just feels like every season there's somebody new coming out for Brighton that just looks like the real deal. So United could definitely do with adopting that as well. Sam C Reports has put out their exclusive, understand Ruud van Nistelrooy has applied for the Coventry City job. Coventry have a short list of managers they're considering to appoint pending final managerial decision. I don't think they actually should have sacked the manager beforehand, but if Ruud's in the running for the job, I'd love Ruud to get it. He deserves a first team manager job. English football, I'd love to see how he bodes at Coventry, so hopefully he gets that job. Did actually put a message out earlier on in the day, if anybody has seen it, basically just saying his goodbyes to Manchester United, saying how grateful he was for the opportunity to be a manager and a player here, and he wishes us all the success for the future, and he'll always give his best for the club. Very, very nice message from Ruud van Nistelrooy. In fact, should I try and get it up to read the whole thing out if we have got it here? Here we go. So this came from Ruud, and then we will move on to Branthwaite and Kerkez. And when we talk about spending less money and not overpaying, are these really the players we should be going for? We'll get on to that. So Ruud has said, Manchester United will always have a special place in my heart, and I hope there are many more glory days at Old Trafford very soon, not only because I want the club to do well, but because you all deserve it, speaking to the fans. All the best and take care, Ruud. To everyone at Manchester United Football Club, in particular the backroom staff, the players and the fans, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for your incredible efforts and support. It has been a privilege and honour to represent this club as a player, coach and manager, and I will always cherish the memories we have shared. Kerkez together. So a brilliant sign-off from Ruud, and I wish him all the best in his future. I still stand by the fact it was the right decision for him to leave. Fresh start, clean slate, all of Ten Hag's coaches are gone. Amorim's time to shine. He needs to put his imprint onto the club, and he needs everybody pulling in Amorim's direction. It's got to be Amorim is the boss, and for that to happen, Ruud did need to leave the club, but wish him all the best, and hopefully he can get the Coventry City job. I mean, I'd love a bit of that. So let's move on to the next little bit, and that is Branthwaite and Kerkez. Head of the game, because we were already speaking about Branthwaite on yesterday's afternoon show. So reports are coming out that Manchester United want to sign Everton centre-back Jarrad Branthwaite and Bournemouth left-back Milos Kerkez to boost Ruben Amorim's chances of a successful start to his career at Old Trafford. I spoke about Branthwaite on yesterday's show. We absolutely will be looking in the market for a left-footed centre-back. Lisandro Martinez is currently injured. We don't know how long for. We've not had an update on that yet. Hopefully we get it very soon. He's had injury problems at Manchester United beforehand. He's been fit and available this season, but you still worry about him. Johnny Evans, we know how good he is on his left foot, but he's not going to be the future, is he? I'm pretty sure he'll probably do this season and then he might retire, or I don't think he'll stay on at Manchester United, as much as I love him and respect him, and he's been fantastic and he's been an example to other Manchester United players about what it takes to be a Manchester United player. Right? He's not the future, is he? We definitely looking at a left-footed centre-back, left-sided centre-back. Amorim plays a back three, so we have to have centre-backs as well. Lindelof, contract is up in the air, and you know, there's a very big likelihood that he'll leave on a free next year. Harry Maguire, his contract is up in the air. We don't know what's going to happen with him either. We need a centre-back. Ineos loved Jarrad Branthwaite. They wanted to go for him in the summer. He was very high priority. We'd literally seen the bids go in. David Ornstein reported it. We ended up going with Yoro and De Ligt. Worked out very well. But at the end of the day, Ineos love Branthwaite. And he's a left-footed centre-back, left-sided centre-back. Would fit the back three system that Amorim's going to use. And Ineos have already scouted him out and really like him, young as well. So Branthwaite is definitely one we'll be looking at, and I would not be surprised if we go back in there. And second one, Milos Kerkez. We were linked to Kerkez in the summer. Interviews we've done with Ben Jacobs, he brought up the name Kerkez. Interviews that we've done with Fabrizio Romano, he brought up the name Kerkez. Manchester United were going to go for a left-back in the summer. For some reason, somewhere along the lines, they put that position on the back burner. I don't know whether it's because they had assurances around Luke Shaw and Tyrone Molesky's fitness. If it was that, whoever made the decision was naive and, in my opinion, should not be making decisions for Manchester United any longer, whoever it was. It was absolutely clear as day we needed a left-back, and the fact we neglected that in the summer transfer window after the season we had last season, it is, in my opinion, a sackable offence. It's unforgivable. We had to have got a left-back. We didn't end up getting one. We have to move on from that and just focus on, I mean, it's not specifically a left-back, a left wing-back or a left-sided midfielder, whichever way you want to call it in Amorim's system. We've got to go in and prioritise that position. Ineos like Milos Kerkez. He's been brought up by very reliable journalists on this channel before, and he's been reported to be linked to Old Trafford and Manchester United before under the Ineos era. Now remember, Amorim does not have a veto. Ineos are still going to be leading recruitment. I doubt they'd go against Amorim. I assume they'll be working together and Amorim will definitely have a say. But if Amorim's like, you know, I'm going to need a left-sided midfielder / wing-back, and, you know, we've not really got one in the squad that I can use, Ineos would probably put forward Milos Kerkez as an option. I need a left-footed centre-back. They'll probably put Jarrad Branthwaite in there as an option. Now, I like the idea of both these players because they're both Premier League proven, and I do think we need to shop in the Premier League more. People might not want to hear that. That's my own personal opinion. I think that time you have to adapt to the league is precious, and I know Branthwaite works in the Premier League. I know Kerkez works in the Premier League. I've watched them both interesting prospects. It's the price for me. Branthwaite is going to cost you a pretty penny. I do think there's other options out there for a cheaper price that you could get. It's whether Ineos really want to push forward on that, and how hard Everton are going to fight to get the price that they want for Branthwaite, because they were very strong on it in the summer. They didn't end up getting the price that they wanted. Are they going to be strong again on it when it comes to the next transfer window? Branthwaite, as we spoke on yesterday's show, isn't signing a contract. He's not getting as much game time with Everton. People think it might be because of this. Even when he returned from injury, Everton could be looking to cash in, but it's how hard they're going to hold out for the price that they want. And then on Kerkez, 21 years old, very exciting prospect, but he's probably going to cost you a decent amount of money as well. So it's whether you go for them options. I mean, get in the chat down below, left-footed centre-back, left-sided centre-back and a left-footed wing-back or right-sided midfielder. I still stand on business when I say I really doubt he's going to straight away play wingers as the wing-backs at Manchester United. I mean, I'll be interested to see what happens and maybe I'll get proved wrong. Maybe in time he will, but I think coming into the Premier League, he will have to play stereotypical wing-backs, to be honest with you. So get in the comments down below if you think them profiles are right for Ruben Amorim and they'd get into this team and there'd be good options to go for in Ruben Amorim's first transfer window, whether that be in January or whether that be in the summer. Well, his first transfer window is in January, but it's whether we'll have the money to do that then or whether we go for these players in the summer. But they're definitely players on Ineos's radar that I expect us to be linked to, 100%. A little bit more on this as well, actually. So it says in this report, we understand Ineos are very keen on the youngster Branthwaite, believing that he can be a key figure at the club as the first choice left-sided central defender. I mean, Lisandro Martinez says hi, but you do need squad depth and Lisandro Martinez has had injuries. It says, however, the Toffees see Branthwaite as their most valuable player and maintain an asking price of above €70 million ahead of next year's transfer windows. Would not pay €70 million at all. I said on yesterday's show, 50 million was the max I would go for Jarrad Branthwaite. It goes on to say, furthermore, sources inform us that United are monitoring Milos Kerkez at Bournemouth. Even though Luke Shaw is back fit, there is a real concern over his future at Old Trafford given the amount of injuries he's endured. Finally, we're waking up and smelling the coffee that Luke Shaw, as talented as he is, and I think he's on his day when he plays, he's fantastic. He's not going to be that consistently for Manchester United. He's just too injury prone. And Tyrone Malacia, he's getting up to speed too, but his future at the club is under question. You don't know how good Tyrone Malacia is going to be when he comes back from injury. You don't know if he's going to get injured again. Huge question marks over him. We absolutely need to bring in a left wing back. There's no doubt about it. Whether you go for Kerkez, that's a question I ask you guys. I know how good he's been this season. I know how good he was against Manchester United when we played Bournemouth last season. And I said that to my brother actually at the time when we were watching the game, and he said, Beth, everyone looks good against us, and I thought, fair point. Watched him against City this season and he was fantastic. Very attacking, which is what you need in this Ruben Amorim system. Orthodox. Currently at Sporting Lisbon on the left side, he does kind of play that orthodox left footer, which is what Kerkez is, but he's going to cost money. I was looking at our options for left wing back, and you know, Mark can say it's a winger, not a wing back, all he wants, but I'm going to call it a wing back for my show. So I get the comments, but I'm calling them wing backs until I'm proven otherwise, until Ruben Amorim starts. No one really knows what approach he's going to do. He's going to have to tweak things from Sporting to now. We've got a different squad. It's a different league. You know, he's starting the beginning process again. It's not going to be copied like for like. I think there will be some adjustments, but let's wait and see. No one can say exactly what it's going to be. But in terms of left wing backs, I think the three options that keep coming out are Milos Kerkez. Ineos definitely are monitoring that situation. Alphonso Davies, Manchester United might try the luck considering the contract situation, but I think we've got to remember where we are right now and whether we can actually attract an Alphonso Davies. If Real Madrid are in the conversation for Alphonso Davies, I don't think Manchester United have a chance, going to be honest, but he's someone that has been linked to us, so we will talk about him. And then Aït-Nouri as well. Aït-Nouri for Wolves, another Premier League proven player, has played left wing for Wolves a lot of the time, so fits that Ruben Amorim very attacking role in his left-sided midfielder, wing-back winger, and is young, got levels to go up. So On Aït-Nouri, he's 23 years old, contract expires in 2026 with an option of an extra year. Wolves would want decent money for him. Davies, obviously, he's on a free transfer, but you'd have to pay a signing-on fee. The signing-on fee would be relatively small considering how much you'd have to pay for a player of his quality. The only issue is it looks like he's going to go to Real Madrid, so I kind of count him out in that one. And then Milos Kerkez, 21 years old. Couldn't really find much on his contract anywhere. I did see one place saying he's got it until 2026, so Bournemouth are going to ask for a decent fee for him as well, considering his age and the fact he is under contract. So everyone's going to cost you a bit of money. Who are you going to go for? My preferred choice would be, well, obviously Alphonso Davies is fantastic, but I just don't think we have a chance, so I'm kind of ruling him out already. My preferred choice would be Aït-Nouri, I'm going to be honest, just based off what I've seen. But it might be because I've watched more Wolves games when I've seen Aït-Nouri absolutely line it up. I think he just fits the 3-4-3 that Amorim's going to play like a glove. He's so good at going forward, genuinely so good at going forward. He's young, he's Premier League proven. I think he's fantastic, honestly. So I would love Aït-Nouri. Kerkez, I've seen games where he looks like a massive hit and he looks really good. And I've seen games where I'm thinking, I don't think he's as good as what he's being hyped up to be on Twitter, etc. But he is young, he's 21, he's going to have inconsistencies. When you're at Bournemouth, though, people only see the good things, don't they? So Manchester United is a big step up. But I would have Aït-Nouri at top of my list. Get in the comments down below who you would have top of your list. Maybe we could run a poll on it, actually. Aït-Nouri, Davies or Kerkez. Who would be your number one choice to be that left wing back at Manchester United? But there absolutely is truth in the fact that Ineos have looked at Kerkez a lot and they've looked at Branthwaite a lot, and they could be two players that we definitely go for under Ruben Amorim, because we're going to need to buy them positions anyway with the system that Ruben Amorim plays. United Forever says whoever has the Ineos mentality, let's get them. I think that's a good point. Of course, you've got to look at players' mentality as well. That's huge. Vidic was speaking about that. Dag says to be fair, Beth, if we want Davies, we can get him because we convinced Lenny to join us over Madrid. No, it's not the same, Dags. Of course, we did convince Lenny to join us, and that was we pulled off a really good transfer there. And you do have to give Ineos credit, but it's not the same. Lenny Yoro was not on a free transfer. Madrid wanted to wait, and they wanted Lenny Yoro to stay at Lille and run down his contract and join them on a free. Lenny had a big connection to Lille and didn't want to do that to him. He wanted Lille to get money, and United offered to pay the money this summer. So that's really why he went to Manchester United, in my opinion. As much as I'm a United fan and I'd like to say he chose United over Madrid, let's actually be serious. He chose Manchester United because he wanted to move this summer. Manchester United was there, they were promising a lot, and they sweetened the deal by the fact his boyhood club was going to get money for him, and with Madrid, they weren't going to do that. That's why it happened. Get in the comments who would be your first choice left back / left wing back under Amorim when we do go after one in the transfer window. I think we have to go after one in January, by the way, if the money's there. It is the absolute priority, in my opinion. Unless Amorim can become Harry Potter and turn Anthony into the next best left wing back, or Luke Shaw can magically, stay fit for a whole season, even though he probably suits left-sided centre-back in this role more, especially considering with his injuries. I just don't see somebody who's going to take on that role and shine at it. We've got to go for a left wing back in the January transfer window. Last but not least, while you're all voting on that poll, I saw some reports coming in before, and let me just get it up now because I have misplaced this information. Here it is. So a lot of people talk about Ruben Amorim going for Gyökeres from Sporting in the summer transfer window. He said he's not going to take any Sporting players in January, but it's up to Gyökeres what he wants to do in the summer. Ruben Amorim and Gyökeres' relationship is absolutely fantastic. Gyökeres is one of the best performing strikers in Europe right now. He's absolutely amazing. Championship fans said how good he was at Coventry. He went on to Sporting and he's been fantastic for them. He's absolutely smashing the goal scoring over there, and Ruben Amorim and him have an absolutely fantastic relationship. A lot of people think that we're going to go for Gyökeres in the summer, especially if he can't get the best out of Joshua Zirkzee and Rasmus Højlund. He's going to have to assess them where they're at this season in the Premier League. But I think people fail to forget, Gyökeres is going to leave. He's got a gentleman's agreement with Sporting Lisbon. I'm 90% sure he's going to leave. 60 to 70 million euros is the price that they agreed in the gentleman's agreement. That is a good price for a striker of his quality and the stats that he's putting up, especially in today's market, considering the prices that are paid around Europe for strikers. A lot of clubs are going to be interested in him, not just Manchester United. Apparently City are really interested, and another club that's come up and are very interested in him, apparently, are Barcelona. Apparently they've already been in contact with Sporting Lisbon and the players' entourage. Barca need a striker for the future, and everything depends on Robert Lewandowski's performances until the end of the season. If he continues his current form, Barca could postpone the signing of a 9 until 2026. As of now, Lewandowski is clear he wants one more season at Barcelona, but Gyökeres is in frame for Barcelona to basically take the baton from Robert Lewandowski and be the next striker at Barcelona. So there's going to be clubs all over Europe looking at Gyökeres. So I don't think we can say, oh, Manchester United are definitely going to get that deal done. Even if we do want him, for the price, I think he'd be a fantastic player. Genuinely do. And I think we need a striker at this current moment in time. Whether Xerxes and Rasmus can change my mind by the end of the season, whether Amorim can work with them and get the best out of him, I absolutely think Manchester United need a striker. We've got two prospects. 21-year-old Rasmus Højlund, 23-year-old Joshua Xerxes. Both of them, at this moment in time, are not good enough to be Manchester United starting striker week in, week out. Just putting it bluntly. Højlund potentially can be that under Amorim, but it's a lot of pressure on both of them. We needed someone with a bit more experience, and we needed someone who's ready now. I think Gyökeres is that guy. I'd love to go for Gyökeres in the summer. It'd mean selling one of them, and I think Xerxes would be the guy that kind of shifts aside, unless Amorim can turn Xerxes into a fantastic number 10. We'll see where that goes. I think Højlund's definitely got potential. He can definitely play Premier League football for Manchester United, and he's got all the attributes, but we need someone scoring, banging goals in now. And I think Gyökeres will be someone that Amorim looks to bring in. But if you're Gyökeres, do you choose Amorim and the project at Manchester United? No Champions League football unless Amorim can pull off a miracle. We are only 4 points off top 4, actually, I think. 4 or 5 points off top 4. So maybe Amorim can do it, and then you're looking a lot more like an attractive prospect to someone like Gyökeres. He's already got that relationship. He knows how the system works. It's more likely to be successful. But then you've got Barcelona, who are thriving right now in Europe, and Hansi Flick has got them playing fantastic football. That's obviously going to be an attractive offer. So it's just whether Manchester United can be attractive for someone like Gyökeres, and I don't think it's going to be, just a one-horse race for Manchester United and you've got a straight shoot at it. There is going to be competition. Can we deal with competition? In the past, Manchester United have not been good at dealing with competition with players. Under Ineos, might be a different ball game. Like you said, for Lenny Yoro, we managed, and even Liverpool was slightly interested in Lenny Yoro as well. I don't think they were willing to pay what Manchester United did. I do think we ended up winning that race because of money as well. But under Ineos, it might be a different outcome, and Manchester United could get that deal done. But there is going to be competition for Gyökeres, and we'll have to see how the rest of the season goes, whether Højlund or Xerxes can step up, to be honest with you. First choice left back, let me see what your votes are saying here. I'm going to click Aït-Nouri. Let's see what you guys think. So we've got, wow, okay, 30% of you with Aït-Nouri, 50% of you with Davis, and 20% of you with Kerkez. And I actually think likelihood there for Manchester United, it probably does go Kerkez, Aït-Nouri and Davis, so the complete opposite in the way that you guys have voted, because Ineos seem to like Kerkez. Davis, as much as I would love him at Manchester United, I think he's super talented, 24 years old, still young, he's got experience. I just don't think we can compete if he's on a free with Real Madrid. But he has spoken in the past about wanting to play Premier League football, and I do think the wing-back area does suit Davis and does play to his strengths, so we'll have to see. Aït-Nouri, I know Manchester United have scouted him, but I think Kerkez leads the race in that department. For me, Aït-Nouri would lead the race, but thank you for getting your comments in, your quotes in. And we have Davies going to Real Madrid, so pointless, says Alex92. Nomad Joe says want Davies, but it's very unlikely. Callum Zeb says Gyökeres without service is just an older Rasmus. Teach the team how to service the strikers. And that's exactly why I said you've got to wait to see how Amorim does with Højlund and Xerxes. I mean, there's talks about Rashford being the number 9. That might happen. I don't think he has the hold-up play to do it, but there's talks of it. I don't think Rashford's very good with his back to goal, but you never know what Amorim might cook up. So, yeah, you have got to provide the service, and that's why I said you've got to wait for this season. Gyökeres, if we do go for him, it'd be a summer thing. But if things don't improve with Højlund and Xerxes, then you would have to look at getting a striker. But let's see what they can do the rest of this season, because there is going to be no excuses. It depends how quick Amorim can get his system going. But Amorim does provide chances for the striker. That's his whole game model. That's his setup. That's what he's been doing at Sporting. So hopefully that'll start to happen at Manchester United. But it's going to be like new territory. It's going to be like, you know, completely new territory for these Manchester United players, because that's not the way we've played. We've played more about, you know, wingers shooting and having their opportunity. And the striker has been... It's been a graveyard shift for a long, long time. You know, it's like going and asking humans to go and walk on the moon. What Ruben Amorim's going to have these Manchester United players doing in terms of providing service for the strikers. I take that on board. But I still think we need improvements in that area, and we'll just have to see what Amorim can do with both these strikers. And I think probably more so Rasmus Højlund, because he's the one that I think at this moment in time has the most prospect and has the higher ceiling and probably suits this system the most. But I put a poll out on my Twitter earlier on today. Who do you think is going to start at striker for Manchester United in Ruben Amorim's first starting 11 against Ipswich? And I had the options as Højlund, Rashford and Xerxes, because Rashford, apparently, Ruben Amorim sees him as a number 9 in his system. It's only reports, it's only rumours, but we'll have to wait and see. 76% have said Højlund, 20.8% have said Rashford, and only 3.2% of people have said Xerxes. And God, that speaks volumes, doesn't it? And if I'm Xerxes, I'm worried about that. I mean, not because of the tweet on my Twitter, but in terms of the lack of faith that the fan base have of him about being a striker, especially in the new manager's setup. Maybe he could thrive in the number 10 role, but I think we still need to give Xerxes a chance, honestly. I feel like we've wrote him off very, very quickly, but anyway. We have Shane Smith saying, when have we seen a clear cross or pass to our striker? There have been some, but the thing is, I think Højlund needs to make better runs, to be honest with you, and get himself in better positions. That's something he needs to work on, but I absolutely do agree that we don't put anywhere near enough passes or crosses into the box. Anywhere near enough, and it is hard work. It is a graveyard shift, 100%. But look, everyone, that is the news for today's 2 p.m. show. We'll be back later on today. Mark will be back with the 8 p.m. show, probably talking about Ruben Amorim's first interview on MUTV, coming out at 7 o'clock tonight, so stay tuned for that. Very excited to see more of what he's got to say, because he seems like a good talker. See what he's got in store for us. I'm counting down the days for Amorim Ball for me to watch it. Can't wait for that Ipswich game. Think he's due to take training next week, early next week, because his visa still isn't quite here yet for him and his coaches. But I can't wait for that as well, to just see him on the training ground with some Manchester United players. I mean, speaking about who's going to be his first striker in his first game against Ipswich, he's going to have more time on the training ground with Rashford, isn't he? Rashford's not in international duty. He'll be there. Might put himself in line to start as striker. Who knows? I wouldn't put it against the realms of possibility. I think there's a real possibility that Rashford could start as the striker in Ruben Amorim's system on that first game against Ipswich. Let's see. But look, everyone, thank you for watching. Hit a like on the video before you go. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Happy Friday. I hope you have a brilliant weekend. Last weekend of international break before we get football back. Cannot wait. And I'll see you on the next one.